to the video. I am so excited to have you here. So today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, and we are going to be doing another infamous MLM horror story. So don't forget to grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your popcorn, your candy, your morning breakfast, whatever it is, and let's get into today's video. So the first story we're going to read says, "Hey Deanna, these ones aren't bad, but here we go. My first story is when I was between sophomore and junior year of college, and I went to a marketing interview that turned out to be Cutco. You gotta love Cutco. The interviewer had some real skills. They somehow convinced me, a very shy and socially awkward person, that I could go door to door and sell knives. I was so excited after the interview for the opportunity to develop people's skills and make money. But thankfully, before I pursued it, my friend told me about his friend who had been scammed by them. Crisis averted. P.S. Never replied to a job listing from Vector Marketing. That is Cutco's company. Also, I later did get a job that gave me people skills, waiting tables, and I actually made money from it." The next story is the Shaklee story. Is one my mom told me about my aunt, so I don't have much of the details. What I did hear was pretty bad. Although I'm honestly surprised it didn't turn out worse, my aunt got roped into selling Shaklee, which I've never heard of, and hounded my family about it. I actually used to live with her a few years ago, so I'm just thankful this didn't happen then. Or I would have had to tell her, "I'm not buying or selling your products." My parents are very strong-willed, so they never bought anything from her, and told her no when she asked if they could use my dad as a reference to sell to my dad's colleagues. Then she went behind my dad's back and did it anyways. I don't know whether she was pressured from her upline or if she did it voluntarily, but either way, it was really bad. My dad literally never gets upset, but he felt betrayed. The story had a really good ending though. Apparently my aunt is focused more on her art and not on Shaklee. Hopefully it will stay that way. This is such a common thing with Cutco, is that they are also called, or will call themselves, Vector Marketing. So if you see that on LinkedIn or anything like that, that is Cutco. It's a multi-level marketing company where they have you literally go door to door to sell knives. I personally don't think it's the safest thing to do. I don't think it's very safe to just go door to door selling anything nowadays, especially going by yourself, with the things that could possibly happen and the things that I've heard can happen with door to door sales. I would not recommend it. So I am happy that this person didn't get roped into that. But the whole aunt thing with Shaklee, so what is Shaklee? I'm gonna look it up real quick because I've never heard of this company before. Have you guys heard of it? So Shaklee Corporation is an American manufacturer and multi-level marketing distributor of natural nutritional supplements, weight management products, beauty products, and household products. The company is based in California with global operations in Canada, China, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, and Taiwan, and the CEO is Roger Barnett. Interesting. So they kind of have a little bit of everything. They remind me of maybe like Arbonne, where you have like your weight loss stuff, your supplements, some beauty products, and household products all in one. And they've been around and founded since 1956. So this is a very, very old MLM. Okay, I've never heard of that one before. Have you guys? I'm curious. So let's move on to the next one. This one says, "I'm an ex-market partner in Monat, spreading awareness of their tactics." It goes, "Hi Deanna, I'm an ex-Monat market partner. My upline has removed me from all of the groups except for one that's run by a director. Today, one of those girls posted some copy and paste messages and it really disturbed me. I find it highly offensive that they have pre-made messages to try and coerce people into joining, especially when they've said no. A lot of these messages contradict themselves in saying there's no pressure to join, but in the same sentence playing the guilt card. I wanted to share this with you and help make others aware of their tactics and luring them in. It makes me sick. Sorry in advance for the long text. This is from a director's WhatsApp group." Okay, let's read this. It says, "Hey guys, I hope this helps you. Hey love," so these are scripts by the way. "Hey love your page. I'm looking for an esthetician/hairstylist to join my team alongside this vegan, cruelty-free hair and skincare line that's backed by science. It's the first of its kind and there's no cap as to how much you can make. Would you be open to another stream of income?" Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, no. Then there's another one. It says, "Hello, noticed you on Bumble Biz. I love your profile. You really stand out. Let's link up and collaborate. When is good for you?" Then there's another one. "Hey babe, what are you doing for work these days? I was talking to my business partner when I got back and you would be amazing in the beauty industry. Are you open to another revenue stream? Not sure if this is up your alley, but you would freaking kill it." So again, these are all scripts. So if somebody asks them, what do you do? This is what the MLM rep's supposed to say. I own an online franchise, kind of like Orange Theory, but in a beauty industry selling clinically backed products. It's so amazing. I make my own schedule. I'm my own boss. It's seriously a dream job. You would be really good at this. Is this something up your alley? So if someone responds and says, I'm not good with sales, this is what they're supposed to say. Girl, we need to work on your mindset. You don't have to be good. Also, we are teaching you everything. I don't want to annoy you or push you into something you don't want to do, but you would make an extra $5K a month. What would making an extra $5K a month do for you? Setting up residual income for life is so key, so you're not wasting it behind a cubicle. The offer is always on the table. I'm ready when you are. I know you would kill it. If someone says, no thanks, I'm not interested, you're supposed to say, hey, I get it. Most of the time I hear no, it's because most are not informed with what this business can do for our life or for your life. Our compensation plan is like no other. I'd love to get you a quick call to discuss it more. Let me know if you're free. No, just no. Wow, there's a lot of them. So here's another sample cold message. You're supposed to say, hey, insert name. I'm loving your vibes. I think you would totally kill it in the industry I'm in. What do you currently do for work? And then they're supposed to say, I work in the beauty industry with a naturally based vegan hair care line. Would you be open to having a call to connect and I can share some more info? So a lot of these things that are in these scripts are not even allowed to be things that they're allowed to say, especially based on what I've seen with the Florida Attorney General. A lot of these things, you're not really allowed to explain it in these ways. So let's read where it says, when they reply back and show interest, this is what you're supposed to say. I'd love to get you on a call to go over details, but simply we are brand ambassadors for a leading hair care line that is scientifically proven to help your hair from the inside out. We get paid to change people's hair and life. What do you currently do? That's one script on how to reply if people show interest. A second one is, OMG, yes, I would love to tell you all about it. It changed my life. What do you currently do for work? Here's another example. OMG, so basically you are us. We need to get you on the phone to explain what we do and how we make money. We have a girl gang of 60,000 people. We all come from different backgrounds, all hustling to level up in life. It's hair care and serum. It's clinically backed. No, can't say it's clinically backed unless you can literally show scientific studies and link them. Then they go, are you your own boss, working your own schedule? Are you around tomorrow night? We have a call at 8:30 about the business. If not, I would love to introduce you to my business partner. So with this being said, with the whole business thing, like, oh, we have a business call, I actually reacted to a Monat business call before. I will link it down below to show you guys exactly the tactics that they're going to use on these calls to reel people in. So now if someone asks, is this an MLM? This is what they're supposed to say. I would say it's not an MLM. It's social selling, which we all do on a daily basis. It is an MLM. Monat, Modern Nature. MONAT. It is a multi-level marketing company. That's a lie. That's just like a blatant lie. Then if someone says, is this a pyramid scheme? This is what you're supposed to say. OMG girl, definitely not a pyramid scheme. This is a new age company that took all of the pyramid schemes of the past and made sure we weren't going to be. What? That's actually funny. That's actually hilarious. This is a new age company that took all the pyramid schemes of the past and made sure we weren't going to be one. That's like literally trying to say, okay, my company, and I'm not saying this is what they did, but it's like they're saying, my company took the definition of a pyramid scheme and then they tried to find all the loopholes to make sure we weren't one, but still like it's the same concept. Oh my Lord. It says, I can show you the comp plan. Also, I wouldn't let people who go to Walmart and try to slip and fall keep you from this company. We are a $1 billion company, year 5, and this company comes with the territory. Look up the reviews on milk. Look up your shampoo. Look up Johnson & Johnson. So shoot me straight. Are you just not ready to be a business owner? Because I'm definitely here when you're ready. We just launched skincare, so trust me when I say this. This is the largest anti-aging company in the world. No. So I'm not going to read the rest. There is a lot more. I could probably make a whole video about this. It'd be a little bit easier to explain if I actually had like the physical screenshots, or it'd be more easier to read. But that just goes to show that a lot of people in these MLMs are just reading scripts off. And like most of the time, when you're just reading these scripts, you're not doing your own research. And that's where I have like a really big issue with it, is because with a lot of MLMs, a lot of false information or misinformation is spewed out by reps, mostly because they'll just look at their upline, or they'll take what their upline says, or they'll take a script that has been passed around to everybody in the MLM instead of actually doing their due diligence and research and making sure that they can and cannot say certain things or do certain things, or if certain things are just blatantly, you know, unethical to say and do, they'll just copy it. Because I will admit, like, I even have done that when I was in Beachbody. Like, I would just copy it because I would think that, oh, this is true, like what my upline's doing is correct, like I just need to follow the lead, follow what she's doing, do what she does because that's what made her successful or got her to the top of the company. And it's like, no, do your own research and things like that, or else you're gonna end up, you know, doing certain things that you probably shouldn't be doing. So this video is sponsored by Skillshare, so I'm gonna chat a little bit about that really quickly, and then we'll get back into the MLM horror stories. So if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I am obsessed with Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community. It has so many classes for creators and honestly just about any individual who could benefit from these type of classes, because they have classes from things like productivity, lifestyle, graphic design, and even things like marketing if you're someone who's in the realm of, you know, needing more advice for marketing or how to market yourself or anything like that. So the class that I've been loving is actually called the Productivity Masterclass, Create a Custom System That Works by Thomas Frank. So Thomas Frank is personally someone that I've watched nearly and listened to nearly every single one of his classes that he has conducted, because his are all based on productivity, how to be more productive, how to create systems, and how to honestly create an environment where you're not working 24/7, but you just have these hours that you are productive, where you are getting a lot of work done. So specifically with this class, the Productivity Masterclass, we are learning everything from task management, digital and physical file organizations, how to take and keep notes, email tips and tricks, and even how to stay organized for the long haul. So with that being said, with Skillshare, there are no ads and they're always launching new classes to try. So the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of the premium membership so you can explore your creativity. So let's get back into the video. So the next story that we are going to read is a very, very long one and seems to be like it's going to be a hard one. So it says 3 MLMs, 1 hun, and how it ended our friendship. This may or may not be a long story, but I apologize in advance if it is. This story involves a longtime friend of mine that I no longer speak to due to her involvement in 3 MLMs and her attempts to get me to join them. The MLMs in question here are Market America, Lavelle/Thrive, and Beachbody. Let's first start out with a bit of background info on this friend of mine. Let's call her Lucy. Lucy and I met during our time at a community college. I had done a few semesters here to get the gen eds out of the way and then pursue a career as a mental health counselor. I am currently working full-time as a therapist and I love it. This comes into play when this friend tries to guilt trip me later on, and she and I became close. I became close with her family and would hang out with her a lot. I was there for her when she had a child with her ex and attended court with her during her, you know, their custody battle. Looking back on it, I see how one-sided things were with her and how I'd always be there for her, but she would never do the same for me. It was all about Lucy. I'm sorry if there's like a little bit of a squeaking noise. I don't know what that is from outside. Anyways, it says the first MLM she got involved with was Beachbody. Her upline was from the area and apparently pretty well known, as we have a lot of mutuals she prays on Facebook. This upline claimed Beachbody saved her husband's life when he was really sick. Let's call the upline Sheila. I never really heard of Beachbody and didn't know what an MLM was back when Lucy joined as a discount coach to lose the weight she gained from having their daughter. If my friends want to lose weight and it's healthy, I'm generally supportive. I was never interested in Beachbody, and Lucy was aware that I am a huge fan of Casey Ho, aka Blow-Galates, I don't know how to pronounce that, and follow her calendar workouts and meal plans. I encourage Lucy to check her out, as her workouts are free on YouTube and her meal plans are super cheap and don't require auto shipping of anything. Lucy met Sheila through Beachbody, and Sheila eventually went on to do Thrive, which we'll get into later. I had to stop talking to Lucy for a bit. Nothing bad came between us. We kind of just went our separate ways and fell out of touch. Out of the blue, I get a call from Lucy one night about a business opportunity that a high school friend was pitching to her. Lucy and I met this friend at a Panera. I thought it was shady from the get-go, but almost fell for it, I admit. Let's call this high school friend Paul. Paul started talking about the company, but wouldn't tell us the company's name. He just kept talking to us about how the company can generate financial freedom and help us live our best dreams. Lucy ended up turning it down because she didn't have the money to join, but I had some more money, so I was sucked into it a little more. The company was Market America. I met with Paul and a mutual friend of ours at Dunkin' Donuts. Over and over again, Paul kept saying how Market America wasn't an MLM because MLMs are about competing with one another, and how Market America was an unfranchised similar to someone buying a Dunkin' Donuts, but on the internet. I went to a weekly meeting at a Holiday Inn, and the meeting was extremely culty. I had tickets and the opportunity to meet one of my favorite bands in California at the time. Trip lined up and all. One of the people I met there tried to manipulate me into not going and to go to an annual conference in Rhode Island instead. Oh, just skip it, they said. I told them I was going to the concert and they couldn't stop me. I had everything paid for and wasn't going to just simply not go. Paul and I's mutual friend drove me to the meeting but disappeared throughout the night, leaving me stranded. I feel like it was a plan all along to get other people in Market America to swindle me. It didn't work and just made me mad at our mutual friend. I must also add here that they suggested I make a list of 10 people to contact to get to join under me. I contacted the 10 people and they stated that Lucy called them a few days before me to try and get them to join. I spoke to a friend that met Lucy like once and she told me that she lost a bunch of friends to Market America because they make you cut off people who aren't part of the company. That is a cult and to run as fast as possible. I then told Paul and the mutual that if you got to over-explain why something isn't an MLM, it's an MLM. And over-explanation was a red flag for deception. I no longer speak to Paul and our mutual because they think I'm too negative. Eye roll. Next, we have Lavelle/Thrive, which was the straw that broke the camel's back. Last year, Lucy started doing Thrive shakes and patches. I found it interesting in your deep dive on this company that people who used it experience irritability because that is what Lucy experienced, but tenfold. Her whole personality changed after using it for some time. While our relationship was one-sided looking back, Lucy was usually never the type to fly into a rage. Once she started Thrive, she became extremely rageful and combative to anyone who criticized her. When the pandemic hit, I had a vacation get canceled and she was pretty upset about it. I talked to some coworkers about how bummed I was about my favorite band that had a residency in Vegas that got canceled and my vacation was to go there. My coworkers suggested I write a status about it on Facebook to help other fans of the band feel less alone, and I liked this idea. About a week before this, Lucy had made a post promoting Thrive and tagged me in it. I replied that this company was predatory and that I can't support unethical business models. Her response? No offense, but you always lost weight easily. I can't believe you're body shaming me now. What? I never said anything about her body or anything, just that MLMs are predatory and made it a point to say that I was looking out for her. Side note, at the time Lucy and I met, I was on medication that made me gain a lot of weight as a side effect. I went off the medication and dropped down to the weight I was before I was on the medication. Before I even met her. That is why she said I lost weight quickly. That was strike one with her. Lucy and I went back and forth about how Sheila's claims that Beachbody saved her husband's life was probably bullcrap because the fake it till you make it mentality runs deep there. At the time, I had no idea about the health claims and the FTC guidelines. When I learned about them, I reported Sheila to the FTC because she now says that Thrive saved her husband's life. Now back to the Vegas trip being canceled and the Facebook post. So the morning after I made the post, I woke up to a bunch of texts asking about who Lucy was and to ignore all the nasty comments on the page. I was confused, so I looked on my Facebook and Lucy made comments about how people were messaging her asking if I was having a mental health crisis, how selfish I was to complain about a trip being canceled when people were dying of COVID, and how the posts were negative as hell and good therapists wouldn't be thinking this way. As someone who literally works at a mental health center, if I were experiencing a mental health crisis, my coworkers would say something. They hadn't and still haven't to this day. So Lucy now messages me asking me to stop it with the negative posts, which I had no idea what she was talking about. She claimed that I constantly made posts shaming people for being mothers and accused me of only hanging with people who didn't have kids, which is extremely untrue. I've stated a few times that I do not want children on Facebook, but never was rude or nasty to people who did or had kids. Lucy logs into Facebook once, maybe every 6 months, and is completely clueless that she will see everyone's posts from the time frame she is away. She told me that I post too much and need to stop because it makes me look crazy. This type of behavior only came about when Lucy started Thrive. Lucy and I talk it out and we're good for the next few months. Fast forward 2 to 3 months and I share a status on how my social media is strictly no soliciting and how all 5 of the unique Huns need to step out of my DMs trying to get me to join. They salivated over the fact that I'm a therapist and thought I could join Unique and get my clients as my downlines, which is against the code of ethics, by the way. On top of the fact they thought the shady charity would be a selling point for me. Apparently, another mutual of Lucy and I joined Unique without me knowing. The night she messaged me, I was lying in bed coming down from a panic attack. Lucy attacked me in my DMs, calling me a bunch bunch of nasty names, claiming again that I was mom shaming and jealous that our mutual friend of ours was just trying to be part of something. She was still doing and promoting Thrive. Lucy wouldn't even give me a chance to reply. She kept tearing into me, calling me negative still, convinced me that I'm on the verge of a mental health crisis, and threatened to call my work to get me fired because crazy people shouldn't be therapists. She told me I was bad at my job because I wouldn't support other women trying to feel like they belong somewhere. I couldn't get a word in edgewise to explain how MLMs weigh down a person's mental health, are a cesspool for burnout, and take advantage of people who are vulnerable, especially single moms like herself and our friend. The only thing I could get out in response was that I had no idea our friend joined Unique and that literally nothing I post is negative. I blocked her on Messenger, and that's when the nasty calls and texts began. So I ended up blocking her number and never speaking to her again. I swear, whatever is truly in Thrive products makes people turn into nasty, threatening rageaholics. That's just alleged. She's just alleging. This is just her story, her thoughts, her opinions. I wonder how many people have seen others have a complete personality change like this because of Thrive. Lucy at one point was doing both Thrive and Beachbody for the discount. Last I heard of her, she was giving away $1,000 if you posted your zodiac sign. I saw a bunch of posts we knew do the share post things with her name tags. Good riddance. I would like to remain anonymous. Thank you. That is a crazy story. Like, I don't even know what to say. We're like, where to begin? Because the thing like that I don't get is her coming into your DMs and saying like you're negative. I feel like on your page you should be able to say, hey, if you're in an MLM and you're trying to solicit me, like, I don't want that here. And that's not negative. That just means you don't want that on your page. Like, you're allowed to post things or say you don't want people to post certain things on your Facebook page. Or if you're getting DMs about something, you can ask to not get DMs about those things. I don't get it. Now, she did allege that Thrive products may have something in them that turn people like, you know, angry and stuff. I'm curious, has anyone else had this happen? Like, I'm trying to look at my text messages to see what my cousin said because she actually tried Thrive before. So my cousin even said, which again is just her experience, she said, honestly, it's just like any other MLM. Does the product work for me? Yeah, but the price, having you trying to add more people, spending more money on product you don't need, it wasn't for me. And honestly, it made me more bitchy. Oh my gosh, what do you guys think? Has that ever happened to you? On the other end, it does suck because a lot of the times in MLMs, you do lose friendships. Like, this person did say when she looked back on the friendship, she did realize it was only one-sided. So, you know, probably wasn't the most healthiest relationship anyways, but it sucks because when people get into these MLMs, it's just like they're taught that, oh, if someone doesn't agree, they're negative. If someone doesn't believe in the products or want to try it, they're not supportive friends. They're bad friends, and you shouldn't be friends with those kind of people. And it sucks because some friends, one, just maybe don't want to join a multi-level marketing company. They don't want to buy from one. In their eyes, it's a scam. And it's like, they just have a difference of opinion. Like, just because your friend doesn't like that you're in an MLM or they don't like the MLM that you're in doesn't mean that they have something against you that you need to get so angry about it. I think a lot of the times MLM reps take the criticism against MLMs very personally, when a lot of people are just criticizing tactics that are used for recruiting, tactics that are used for online, and they're criticizing the MLM itself, not really criticizing the person. While yes, people may do reaction videos and react to people that are in MLMs, that's honestly just criticizing the way that they recruit people, the way that the MLM has taught them to recruit, or their uplines have taught them to recruit, or things like that. So it's just insane to me how just because someone will criticize something that you're doing, not even shame you or guilt you or yell at you or be mean to you, they will just criticize or say that they don't want to be sold to, that they're all of a sudden this bad person, that you're going to try and get them to lose their job. I don't get it. And it's really sad because I've seen a lot of friendships lost. A lot of people lose friends and family just because of an MLM, just because they don't support the MLM, and because they don't support it, the MLM rep can't be, you know, cool with them anymore. I just hate that about it. So that's going to be all for this video. We only went over 3 MLM horror stories. So that is going to be all for today's video. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Comment down below. Anything. I would love to chat. Say hello. How are you doing today on this Friday? What are your weekend plans? I would love to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.